I was training the other day and a boy come to me and asked me how I managed to develop my triceps. The problem is, he was just starting out. He has all the accessories, headphones, belts, knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, anything. But not the most important one, the experience. As someone who trained for 30 years myself, I told him, you can't train like a Chris Bumsted just because you like him. This is too much workload for your muscles, at least not for now. Let's not forget also that he's taking super supplements, aka steroids, which make a difference. We talk about around 5 minutes and I realized that he's very passionate about bodybuilding. While all programs will work to some extent, programs of the pros are what they are. Programs of the pros. Without the same genetics, without the same drugs, without the same coaches. It's crazy to think that we can train like the pros and have the same results as the pros. In this video, I'm going to explain why this is the case and what will be smarter way to do that. How you can start from very early on and progress gradually and meaningfully to the end result. Before I explain in details more about how you should train properly, you may decide to subscribe to the video, like it, and this will help you grow on the long run by watching more of my videos. If you spend as a millionaire before you're a millionaire, you will end up dirt broke after your first buy. It's the same with the pros. If you start training as the pros from the beginning, it's very possible that you will start running a place, or overtrain, or quit the whole thing altogether. Why? Simply because you are not one of them. This simply means you are getting ahead of yourself by imitating pro bodybuilders. But there is a way, and I'll tell you more about it, so watch the video till the end. And how do you expect 10 inches arm to recover like 16, 17, 18 inches even arm? Doesn't make any sense. You may be able to do the workout, but this doesn't mean that you will be able to recover from it. It's like getting a tan. You can't just expose yourself from the first day on the sun and hope for the best, especially not if you are white like a marshmallow. But then, after a couple of days, your skin gets used to it and you can spend all day under the sun. It's the same with the weights. It takes time to develop this sort of adaptation. I'm guilty of that too, of course. We were also training like the pros back in the days because of the lack of knowledge, but most importantly, because of the lack of patience. And now, 30 years later, I realized that the best results will come from the right amount of focus work, not just work in general, what in today's terms is referred as a junk volume. We also did many of this junk, of course, starting with as little as 3 sets, 2 or 3 times a week. It's gonna be the best bet for you. Focusing on the proper form and building strength over time with the right frequency 2 or 3 times a week, it's the best. That's why programs like 5x5 or even 3x5, it's gonna build the best foundation for your future growth. Training as a bodybuilder in the early stages, it's gonna be a mistake, no question about it. If you train 5-6 times in the beginning, how much you gonna train after 10 years of training? 20, 30 times a week? Think about this for a second. If you train barbell squat, barbell row, bench press and overhead press 3 times a week with 3 sets, what's gonna happen when you increase the weight, meaning the intensity, or the volume with a little bit, even with 1%? I will tell you, your body will grow as a result of these small incremental changes. What I'm trying to say, start very low so every minimum change adds up to, let's say, 20 and 30 sets. Don't start with 20 or 30 sets and then hope for the best that you're gonna be able to recover or that you're gonna be adding more sets. On the flip side, if you do 16 sets for chest in Monday, how much set you have to add up after 2 or 3 years of training? To double it? 30, 32 sets? Think about it. Why not maximizing the gains starting from the bottom? 9, 10, 11 and so on sets. Building the base and slowly start adding on when the progress stalls. What this story is telling us? In the beginning, we are blind for these top guys and for their physiques and sadly for their advice. This boy did not go to research to see what works, or at least it showed to works for a big amount of people. He went straight to the Bumstead account and hit follow. This means that Bumstead can be more helpful by saying that this is not for beginners than posting his photo. I understand also the inspiration aspect of every Instagram account, but still, I mean, these guys have to have some responsibility, because you will see just in a second. Or at least to address that the problem is his, and of course the use of steroids that bring these great results. Because genetic is one thing, but without the steroids, it's nothing like it. The moral of the story is this: we follow something or someone just because we want to become like them. But it's our obligation to double check the facts. Today, we have the most information than any other time in history. And yet, we are the most confused humans ever lived. If you're starting out, or if you have just 2 or 3 years under your belt, start from the position that can be built from. And don't follow someone's advice just because they have the body. More often than not, they don't know how they build it, and they cannot replicate it without steroids. What is this telling you? And if somebody disagree, you know where is my channel? Just record a video, you with steroids, you without steroids, and then you growing without steroids. I'm here and I'm waiting. And if you're gonna train naturally, please follow natural bodybuilders. Okay? Because they know how to build muscles without chemical support. And that's, my friend, is important. I don't think the guy in the gym from the beginning of the story got my message. I'm sure he gonna train like Bumstead. For a while. He will be blinded for a long time, and he will probably quit long before he can see the fruits of his efforts. Anyhow, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below if you have something to say, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.